Hey everybody, it's Dr. J.C. Dornick, Doctor of Chiropractic, Certified Health Coach, Humanitarian. I've got something really special for you today. As a lot of I've done a lot of work in the field of health transformation, and I've taken a very big fascination on, decision making and motivation and human behavior, with a real big emphasis on what it takes for someone to go from the dark to the light and conquer some of those things that, they need to get the job done. And what I know for sure is that everybody wants the same thing. Everybody, you're watching this, you want to be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Everybody wants the same thing. But in this crazy world full of uncertainty, fear, and a lot of challenges, emotional, financial, God, a lot of stuff's going on. It's pretty hard to take care of all three, let alone just one. So the challenge that I see is execution, because we all know what we need to do to improve our physical, mental, and financial health, whether it's work harder, stay committed. So the execution of it is really a challenge. And I just have such a special woman here that is an example of somebody that's got every excuse in the world why they can't, but they're doing it anyway. So first of all, I'd say, how are you, Nicole Varner? Good to have you here.
Hello, good to be here.
So we're communicating via satellite here. So anyway, Nicole's an example of somebody that is really inspirational. She's inspired me. And I just wanted to kind of have her share her story a little bit, because I think that, she's about to change a lot of lives. And she's an example of somebody that has found the strength to overcome adversity. And she's completely transforming her health, and now she's helping other people. So Nicole, welcome. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about your stories, maybe starting with where you're coming from.
Sure. Well, 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with leukemia, and they gave me literally days to live, and it was a very tragic situation. And in that, I lost my job. I was put into a hospital immediately, and I couldn't see my kids. They couldn't come around. And immediately they started looking for a donor for me to have a bone marrow transplant, because I wouldn't have lived without one. So I went through that whole process, and finally, you think that you go through something like that and you survive, that that's the end of the story, right? Everything else is gravy. Well, it destroyed my family, and I lost my husband in that whole thing. And it's been a tough road, where we've just went, from one thing to another financially, just different hardships. We've definitely experienced everything in this whole journey. But here I am 3 years later. I'm doing better than ever. As you can see there in the picture, that was me in September. I had just had a really bad deal with my new immune system attacking my body, and they had to put me on all these medications. And it just really, I became very depressed. I was not able to sleep. I was dealing with a little bit of PTSD, where I had undergone so many treatments. And to be honest with you, that picture just represents a hopeless person. I was hopeless at that point. And that was actually the weekend that my husband decided to leave and start a journey of his own. And so my kids and I have just picked up, and we've been, looking for something. And I kept looking at people that were directly in my life, trying to get them to fit into shoes that they didn't really they didn't fit, and I kept praying and asking for help, because I was hopeless, and I just didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know what to do for money. I didn't know what to do as far as my health, because I was in I was in and out of the hospital. And I just felt like a really big burden. So I started looking on Facebook. I started reading other people's stories, and I came across, a friend of mine through a mission trip that I went to several years before, and she was just basically putting it out there, hey, something had helped her, and she wanted to know if anybody else wanted help. And at that point, I would have tried anything. I was like, I don't care. You know, if I have to stand on my head and do push-ups, I will do whatever I need to do to try to get this done. So I was then connected to you, JC.
That's right. I remember we met that night, and I just remember this feeling like I was like, whoa, you know, it was humbling to me to meet you, because I just remember that I was just wondering how you have so much hope, you know, still after all those things. And I hadn't even heard your whole story then. And, you know, but you had this drive and you had this passion that was driven by a motivation that went beyond you. It was a motivation that fit into your religious beliefs and also your family. I think I also noticed the first time that I saw you that you had that hat on with that smiley face on it. So maybe share a little bit about what that means.
Yeah, this has kind of become my brand, which is really funny. I began wearing it when I was very ill, and you know, they always made these like crazy like caps that you could just tell the person had cancer, you know, and people would just look at me, and the way they would look at me would just like break my heart. So often I wasn't smiling because I was sick or in pain. And so I found this smiley face cap and I was like, that's it, you know? So I started wearing it, and now it's like my like comfort blanket or whatever, but you know, it never fails. Like people that aren't smiling, they look up at my head and they smile. So it's just like something that just represents me and just I love. So, and you happen to have the same type of hat, so I think it was just meant to be, JC.
Right. That's nothing happens by mistake. So
No.
Nicole, you know, one of the things that I really love about you is you had all that adversity, and you know, you looked for something, but very often people find something, you know, they find a better job, they find a health program, they find a relationship, but they don't follow through with it. So a big difference about you, just quickly, I'd love to, what is it that gave you the strength, and tell us a little bit about this, you know, the basic principles of this program and the structure of it that made you take advantage and go after it, rather than just saying, oh, there's another opportunity I'm not going to take.
Well, you know, of course, I am big on pray. You know, I do pray, and I, you know, look, but the thing that I wasn't getting is that I needed to put action into that. You know, like for me to like really see something come to me, I had to start putting action. And that action like began with, you know, just not drinking this or not, you know, or maybe drinking a little more of something else. And so it began with that. And then when I found this system, it was like idiot proof. I mean, I hate to say, I don't have any better word for that, but for me, it was so overwhelming to have to like go into a program where I had to like, you know, exercise, and then I had to make all these meals and spend all this time at the grocery store. And it was just too much for me. I was too sick at that point to do anything like that. And it was a challenge to get up out of bed. So to do all that other stuff was just not a reality for me. So whenever I found the system and I started talking to people in the group, because it's a community, you know, and that was something I needed. I needed a community of people that were finding ways to move forward through the adversities. And so that just helped me, you know, being able to talk to people in the community, getting guidance, the encouragement, the positive, you know, positive stories of people getting through things. That was huge for me, being able to really like get more hope. I was just like holding on to every little bit of hope I could find. And so it just lifted me up so much higher. You know, it was definitely something I could commit myself to, because it was it was a program that everything was already set up, that you just basically had to put very little effort into it to get to a point. And now I'm to a point where I'm healthy and I can go work out. And now I can incorporate my own foods at times. And, you know, that was the key. I just needed that energy, you know?
Well, tell us a little bit quickly, you know, have just a couple more minutes left, but just in a minute, what are the results that you experienced on this program? Because obviously there's a community and there's support and all these things that are so important, but you actually lost quite a bit of weight and improved your health.
Absolutely. That was the bonus of trying to reach that optimal health. I was able to completely get rid of my insomnia. I was able to, the depression is gone. I mean, that doesn't mean I don't have, days where, the things that I'm dealing with a divorce and all different things that, and my immune system still attacks me some, so I still have things, but now I have a mind that can deal with that. I know how to push through. And the times that I don't, I have my coach who I can call and, pester. And then just, give me that kick that I need, and it's about accountability, And so I'm so excited about that. And now, it's changed my life, because now I don't want this just to be a health issue and to, lose weight and to feel better. I feel like this has changed my life. And every time I'm on Facebook or anywhere, I see people and they're struggling like I was struggling, and some maybe not as bad, but they're still struggling. And so this has become now my mission to actually move forward and basically train other people to be Dragonslayers. So I'm ready, and I just want to bless other people, and I want to teach other people that, just move a little bit, just in the right direction, just a little bit. And if you don't know what direction, still move, and you'll get guided in that direction, So that's what I'm doing.
That's amazing. So let me just hit a couple of high points and then we'll wrap it up. You came from a place where most people would probably just give up, and you didn't, and you had a reason not to. You, through the universe, and through prayer and just maybe a little bit of good timing, you found a program, you found a community, you found a mentor, and you probably attracted that into your life. But then when given the opportunity, you took action, got results, awakened now, and experience the joy of going from the dark to the light. And naturally, you just are compelled to, help other people. I mean, that's the way the world is made up. I mean, that's the way the world needs to be. In a world full of thirsty people, if you find water, it's kind of your moral obligation to help others. And, Nicole, you're starting to help other people. And what an amazing story. And I know you've just begun this journey. And now that you've created this movement of other people following you, it's just going to be so amazing. So I just want to say I'm inspired by you. Thanks for your time. And it's just such an honor to be able to spend this kind of time with you.
Well, thank you. And I just wanted to use this time also to just tell people that I am going to be starting a Facebook group. It's going to be Dragonslayers. So I would love to have you come and join the group. It'll just be positive, encouragement and testimonies, and just people that have learned how to conquer things that seem unconquerable. So I would like everybody to come. Dragonslayers, that's a big deal for me right now. You actually gave me the nickname, but I've just embraced it. I love it. Because I was that person that was wanting to go hide under a rock when that adversity came towards me, because I didn't have the energy for it. And I wasn't, I was fearful, and I was like, I just didn't know who I was. So I would go crawl under a rock and hide for days, months at a time, just to not deal with people and things, because I just couldn't do it. So now I have found that strength in me, and I am slaying those dragons, those things, those adversities that, people say that, there's no hope. There is hope. So don't give up. Keep pushing forward. And hey, come join my group, and we can just push forward together and keep each other accountable.
There you go. It's Dragonslayer School with Nicole Varner.
Yes.
Have a wonderful day, and thanks so much.
Thank you.